718, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and our question?
Umar and I have a disagreement with you.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay. Let's go back. I want to go back to that comment you made about the people who think it's intellectually.
I said a whole bunch of ways to describe that. Yeah.
I'm talking about the people who you say
think it's smart to be neither left or right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I've encountered this before when I've had debates on voter apathy, and I think here's what progressives are missing. You see, not only when the guy before was calling you Martin Luther King, he was saying you understand the nuances that go into this. You also can see the scope and how big it is.
Right.
Now I'm just going to stick to the American public. We have this joke about how these simple people are following Trump. Well, that's who's following everybody else. It's regular people. They're not looking for the intricacies. They're looking for what can they understand.
Mm-hmm.
Barack Obama, I knew he was corporate. We had a mayor called Dinkins. Before he ran for mayor, he was a Manhattan borough president.
Mm-hmm.
And he was making obvious choices that was against his community. So when they approached me and my group and they said, we're going to run this guy Dinkins, I was like, well, wait a second, he has a history.
Right.
And the guy looked at me and go, but we need someone to run against Koch. That's it. That's all he understood. That's it. So when you guys are saying that, I don't think people are being trying to say that it's some kind of a smart position.
Oh.
You just laid out how Democrats are ignoring Bernie and following the corporate structure and doing the Republicans. Mm-hmm. You understand the nuances. You understand why it's important that we have to vote one way or the other because the right wing is insane.
I like
but
what
the
you're
guy
saying.
in the barbershop doesn't. He just hears, well, you just laid out, they're both the same. And in his mind, he processes, they're all the same. So I think that what progressives have got to do is find a way to, I hate to say it, dumb down the message. Make it extremely simple. These people aren't following Trump because they don't realize he's an idiot. He's making it extremely simple.
Somebody said last night, on a comment on one of my videos, they said that I have some of the smartest listeners. And sir, I have to applaud you because you parsed this one nuance deeper than I did. I left it at, in a lot of ways, and not to throw off on this group, but a lot of ways I was giving them too much credit, saying that they understand the nuance and feel like they're above it. But in a lot of ways, they just don't know enough of the details. And you're saying that we need to simplify it a lot more. Now, I agree with you. I would say probably 80% of the people. But the core message of I don't subscribe to left or right, to me, it comes from a group who really, they do have some insight. They do have some knowledge. They just think it's better for them to go above the fray. But in terms of the masses, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We need to dumb down our message because that's what conservatives have been so successful at.
I'm gonna say Michael Bay, and I'm gonna say I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna point out that when you said this, just as you just got finished laying out how the Democrats have become so Republicanized. I don't have better words for it.
That's perfect.
It drives me nuts too, because I'm like, what? It's like, okay, listen, I honestly do not believe Hillary Clinton is the best candidate. I'm sorry, she made decisions that I think you were all insane for even thinking about she's viable. And I'm like, I don't also understand this notion, well, Bernie can't possibly win. Why? Please explain it to me. What is it about Bernie that he can't possibly win? Well, if you put the message out there, he can possibly win. But these CNNs and CSNBCs, where, and I'm with you, they're not liberal, but let's pretend.
Right.
They talk. Chris Matthews, who he had a better message a few years ago. Right. I guess you're right. The corporate thing hits you at some point. It's like
it gets you, man.
They used to be on Saturday Night Live. Then Bush got into office, and he used to have this biting commentary. I can't remember the guy's name.
Keith Olbermann.
The minute Bush got in office, he comes back on HBO. He's like do like a show on HBO.
Yeah.
Wham! He went to Republican, and then he started working for I can't remember, Dennis Miller.
Dennis, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, but like I said, people might not, even the core that you're talking about, might not, they should know better. Let's put it that way.
That's
but
what
I'm going to remind you.
That's not the majority.
One of the biggest movies last year was Transformers. You know, that tells you something.
Yeah. You said, what was your name again, man? What was your name again?
Listen to your response.
Oh, yeah. And actually, what's your name again? I want to make sure I got your name.
Umar.
Umar
from Brooklyn.
Okay, you sound a little different this time, Umar. I think I have you on Twitter. Make sure we're following each other on Twitter, if not.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call.
Umar H Stories. That's my Twitter handle.
Umar H Stories. Everybody follow him and anyone else that calls in with some good insight like that. No, he's absolutely right. So to bring it back to a 30,000 angle look, which is that Michael Bay non-substantive, just shoot 'em up, explosion, high level, high energy kind of thing. We do need to dumb down the message in that regard. But in terms of people who are the ostensible leaders, they need to know better, right? And they should know better that even though let's take this catchphrase, all politicians are the same. That is actually the case for progressivism, because all politicians have moved towards the right for the last 40 years. And that's why you have Hillary Clinton indistinguishable economically from Jeb Bush. The proof would be in the pudding, right? That's why that's the case for moving us further back to the left.